Naranasan ko ng maiwan. Hindi ko na mabilang kung ilang beses akong nakiusap hanggang sa maubos ang pangungusap. Naisip ko na ring sumuko dahil sa sunod-sunod na bagyo. Parang walang katapusan itong kalbaryo. Saan nga ba ako patungo? Saan ba ang dulo nito? Sa paglalakbay, muntik na akong huminto. Pero sinalubong mo ko. Bumungad sa akin yung mga mata mong gustong matuto. Ang mga kamay mong sabik sumulat. Ang mga labi mong nais bumigkas na mga salitang nakakapawi ng pagod. Tinatalo mo itong lungkot at takot. Binibigyan mo ng sagot ang mga katanungan sa aking puso.
Masampat, abi-abi, mga anak?
Masampat pala, abi-abi, labo.
Na sa dami ng alinlangan ko't tanong sa mundo, ito ang nag-iisang sigurado. Mahal ko ang pagtuturo. Ito ang nagbibigay buhay sa aking pagkatao. At ang mga pangarap nila, ang aking ligaya. Minsan na rin akong naiwan.
Nagsaaman.
Kaya't sisikapin kong hindi mo ito maranasan.
De Luna,
Present.
Herrera,
Present.
Valera.
Present.
Handa ba tayo sa school year 2020?
Present.
Ngayong taon, ang edukasyon tuloy pa rin. Sa tulong ng DepEd, mga guro at mga magulang, ang handang isip, handa bukas. Tuloy-tuloy ang pag-aaral. May mga lessons para sa iba't ibang antas. Sa government TV, maging sa radyo, mahalagang ligtas ang ating mga estudyante at guro. Kaya kahit nasa bahay, tuloy ang edukasyon. Kung tulong-tulong, may paraan, may aralan.
Handang isip, handa bukas.
Bisitahin ang DepEd Philippines sa Facebook at ang deped.gov.ph.
De Luna,
Present.
Herrera,
Present.
Valera.
Present.
Handa ba tayo sa school year 2020?
Present.
Ngayong taon, ang edukasyon tuloy pa rin. Sa tulong ng DepEd, mga guro at mga magulang, ang handang isip, handa bukas. Tuloy-tuloy ang pag-aaral. May mga lessons para sa iba't ibang antas. Sa government TV, maging sa radyo, mahalagang ligtas ang ating mga estudyante at guro. Kaya kahit nasa bahay, tuloy ang edukasyon. Kung tulong-tulong, may paraan, may aralan.
Handang isip, handa bukas.
Bisitahin ang DepEd Philippines sa Facebook at ang deped.gov.ph.
This is the virtual oath-taking ceremony for the newly hired teaching and non-teaching personnel of the school's division of Davao Occidental. This is the virtual oath-taking ceremony for the newly hired teaching and non-teaching personnel of the school's division of Davao Occidental.
Naranasan ko ng maiwan. Hindi ko na mabilang kung ilang beses akong nakiusap hanggang sa maubos ang pangungusap. Naisip ko na ring sumuko dahil sa sunod-sunod na bagyo. Parang walang katapusan itong kalbaryo. Saan nga ba ako patungo? Saan ba ang dulo nito? Sa paglalakbay, muntik na akong huminto. Pero sinalubong mo ko. Bumungad sa akin yung mga mata mong gustong matuto. Ang mga kamay mong sabik sumulat. Ang mga labi mong nais bumigkas na mga salitang nakakapawi ng pagod. Tinatalo mo itong lungkot at takot. Binibigyan mo ng sagot ang mga katanungan sa aking puso.
Masampat, abi-abi, mga anak.
Masampat pala, abi-abi ka mo.
Na sa dami ng alinlangan ko't tanong sa mundo, ito ang nag-iisang sigurado. Mahal ko ang pagtuturo. Ito ang nagbibigay buhay sa aking pagkatao. At ang mga pangarap nila, ang aking ligaya. Minsan na rin akong naiwan.
Kasaanan.
Kaya't sisikapin kong hindi mo ito maranasan.
De Luna,
Present.
Herrera,
Present.
Valera.
Present.
Handa ba tayo sa school year 2020?
Present.
Ngayong taon, ang edukasyon tuloy pa rin. Sa tulong ng DepEd, mga guro at mga magulang, ang handang isip, handa bukas. Tuloy-tuloy ang pag-aaral. May mga lessons para sa iba't ibang antas. Sa government TV, maging sa radyo. Mahalagang ligtas ang ating mga estudyante at guro. Kaya kahit nasa bahay, tuloy ang edukasyon. Kung tulong-tulong, may paraan, may aralan.
Handang isip, handa bukas.
Bisitahin ang DepEd Philippines sa Facebook at ang deped.gov.ph.
Naranasan ko ng maiwan. Hindi ko na mabilang kung ilang beses akong nakiusap hanggang sa maubos ang pangungusap. Naisip ko na ring sumuko dahil sa sunod-sunod na bagyo. Parang walang katapusan itong kalbaryo. Saan nga ba ako patungo? Saan ba ang dulo nito? Sa paglalakbay, muntik na akong huminto. Pero sinalubong mo ko. Bumungad sa akin yung mga mata mong gustong matuto. Ang mga kamay mong sabik sumulat. Ang mga labi mong nais bumigkas na mga salitang nakakapawi ng pagod. Tinatalo mo itong lungkot at takot. Binibigyan mo ng sagot ang mga katanungan sa aking puso.
Masampat, abi-abi, mga anak.
Masampat pala, abi-abi mo.
Na sa dami ng alinlangan ko't tanong sa mundo, ito ang nag-iisang sigurado. Mahal ko ang pagtuturo. Ito ang nagbibigay buhay sa aking pagkatao. At ang mga pangarap nila, ang aking ligaya. Minsan na rin akong naiwan.
Saan?
Kaya't sisikapin kong hindi mo ito maranasan.
De
This is the virtual oath-taking ceremony for the newly hired teaching and non-teaching personnel of the school's division of Davao Occidental. This is the virtual oath-taking ceremony for the newly hired teaching and non-teaching personnel of the school's division of Davao Occidental. This is the virtual oath-taking ceremony for the newly hired teaching and non-teaching personnel of the school's division of Davao Occidental. This is the virtual oath-taking ceremony for the newly hired teaching and non-teaching personnel of the school's division of Davao Occidental. This is the virtual oath-taking ceremony for the newly hired teaching and non-teaching personnel of the school's division of Davao Occidental. This is the virtual oath-taking ceremony for the newly hired teaching and non-teaching personnel of the school's division of Davao Occidental. This is the virtual oath-taking ceremony for the newly hired teaching and non-teaching personnel of the school's division of Davao Occidental. This is the virtual oath-taking ceremony for the newly hired teaching and non-teaching personnel of the school's division of Davao Occidental.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning and welcome to our first virtual oath-taking ceremony for the newly hired teaching and non-teaching personnel. To formally start this program, we will have our national anthem to be followed by an opening prayer, provincial hymn, and Servisyong Sibil via audio-visual presentation.
Virtual oath-taking ceremony.
na siya'y naglalaan nakakalimot kay Jesus. Manali ka, manali ka. Luha, pawis at tapang, ibinuho sa iyong pagsilang. Pagsulong sa iyong kaunlaran, ang nasa puso namin magpakailanman. Handa kaming mag-alay ng buong katapatan, damdamin at kaisipan para sa iyong tagumpay. O lalawigang sinasamba, lupain ang antigong mamamayan, daay malawak tungo sa karagatan, timog kanluran dito matatagpuan. Sulong Davao, Occidental, hiyas ka noon pa man, at hanggang magpakailanman, ikaw ay aming minamahal. Masipag, galing at talino, mga ninuno ng bayang ito. Walang pagod sa pagtataguyod, makamtang bayan ang inaasam mo. Dama ang kinabukasan, sumasayaw dahon sa kagubatan. Malamig at sariwang hangin sa dalampasigan ng karagatan. O lalawigang sinasamba, lupain ang antigong mamamayan, daay malawak tungo sa karagatan, timog kanluran dito matatagpuan. Sulong Davao, Occidental, hiyas ka noon pa man, at hanggang magpakailanman, ikaw ay aming minamahal. O lalawigang sinasamba, lupain ang antigong mamamayan, daay malawak tungo sa karagatan, timog kanluran dito matatagpuan. Sulong Davao, Occidental, hiyas ka noon pa man, at hanggang magpakailanman, ikaw ay aming minamahal. At hanggang magpakailanman, ikaw ay aming minamahal. At hanggang magpakailanman, ikaw ay aming minamahal.
Ang serbisyo sipil ng bayan ko, lingkod na tunay ngayon kailanman. Laging tumutulong, laging nagpapayo, at sa kawali ay siyang patnubay. Ang serbisyo sipil ay tanghalin, ito ay ating dakilain. Maging tapat lang sa ating tungkulin, paglingkulang lagi bayang giliw. Ang serbisyo sipil ay lingkod na tangi, tayo natin ito'y ating ipagpunyi. Mabuhay
Virtual oath-taking ceremony. Virtual oath-taking ceremony.
DepEd Davao Occidental, good morning. DepEd Davao Occidental, good morning. And again, welcome to our first virtual oath-taking ceremony for the newly hired teaching and non-teaching personnel. This activity is participated by 27 newly hired personnel for teaching and non-teaching positions. This activity has been realized because of the magnetic leadership and untiring dedication of this one of the pillars of DepEd Davao Occidental. And now, to give us an opening remarks, let us all welcome Assistant Schools Division Superintendent, Dr. Jinky B. Ferman.
Virtual oath-taking ceremony.
Thank you very much, Abby. To our Schools Division Superintendent, Dr. Lorenzo E. Mendoza, our Legal Officer, Attorney Maruli Ali Sanchez, our Administrative Officer 5, Sir Aloysius Cesar Bravo, to all our newly hired teaching and non-teaching personnel of the Schools Division Office of Davao Occidental, good morning. Good morning, DepEd Davao Occidental. We are undeniably in a very challenging world we call the new normal. We hear about people losing their jobs, closing in their businesses, and worse, losing their lives because of this pandemic. But we have to move forward to be able to fit in the new world. If you get hired in a government agency in such a difficult time, I would say that you are definitely blessed. And I think that you would agree with me. May that overwhelming emotion that you are feeling right now radiate in your attitude towards work and in the way that you'll be dealing with your workmates, and would translate into an efficient and effective performance, which is much needed, no, in our agency in this trying time, to be able to foster the vision and mission of the Department of Education, specifically in the Schools Division Office of Davao Occidental. Today, as you take your oath to be part of the growing family of our Schools Division Office, may you pledge to be able to share the best that you can offer to our department. This is the first virtual mass oath-taking ever conducted in our division. And this is history, and you are now part of that history. Before you shall formally begin with your journey as a public servant, you have to listen to some good points and reminders from our SDS, from our legal officer, and from our administrative officer, so that you be prepared for the task ahead. Right? So may you all be a great addition to the Schools Division Office of Davao Occidental. Congratulations, everyone. And again, welcome to this first virtual mass oath-taking ceremony for our newly hired teaching and non-teaching personnel. Good morning.
Virtual oath-taking ceremony.
Thank you so much to our ASDS, Dr. Jinky Ferman, for your opening message.
Hello, partner. Good morning.
Good morning, Sir Abs.
You know what, partner? This activity would not be a success without acknowledging the persons behind this activity. First and foremost, we have our Schools Division Superintendent, Dr. Lorenzo E. Mendoza. Assistant Schools Division Superintendent, Dr. Jinky B. Ferman.
To our AO5, Sir Bravo, Aloysius Cesar.
Personal Section Head, Ma'am Elaine Hazel M. Donasco. Technical Working Group, Secretariat, and to all who participated in this activity, especially for Mariano Peralta National High School for making this activity a successful one. Thank you.
Virtual oath-taking ceremony. This is the virtual oath-taking ceremony for the newly hired teaching and non-teaching personnel of the school's division of Davao Occidental. This is the virtual oath-taking ceremony for the newly hired teaching and non-teaching personnel of the school's division of Davao Occidental. Virtual oath-taking ceremony.
So, kamusta lang po nato itong mga participants? Kamusta na mo din nakaroon na itong mga newly hired personnel from different municipality of Davao Occidental? So, we have 27 participants, 27 newly hired personnel. So, 33 newly hired personnel from teaching and non-teaching positions. We have from senior high school, junior high school, and elementary. So, hi!
Hi, participants, to the newly hired teaching and non-teaching personnel.
Magandang buhay, everyone! Kamusta man mo din, ha?
Wave naman dyan.
Wave naman po tayo dyan. Hello, everyone! Okay, so ganyan talaga basta kung live.
This is the virtual oath-taking ceremony for the newly hired teaching and non-teaching personnel of the school's division of Davao Occidental. This is the virtual oath-taking ceremony for the newly hired teaching and non-teaching personnel of the school's division of Davao Occidental.
Naranasan ko ng maiwan. Hindi ko na mabilang kung ilang beses akong nakiusap hanggang sa maubos ang pangungusap. Naisip ko na ring sumuko dahil sa sunod-sunod na bagyo. Parang walang katapusan itong kalbaryo. Saan nga ba ako patungo? Saan ba ang dulo nito? Sa paglalakbay, muntik na akong huminto. Pero sinalubong mo ko. Bumungad sa akin yung mga mata mong gustong matuto. Ang mga kamay mong sabik sumulat. Ang mga labi mong nais bumigkas na mga salitang nakakapawi ng pagod. Tinatalo mo itong lungkot at takot. Binibigyan mo ng sagot ang mga katanungan sa aking puso.
Masampat, abi-abi, mga anak.
Masampat pala, biyabiga mo.
Na sa dami ng alinlangan ko't tanong sa mundo, ito ang nag-iisang sigurado. Mahal ko ang pagtuturo. Ito ang nagbibigay buhay sa aking pagkatao. At ang mga pangarap nila, ang aking ligaya. Minsan na rin akong naiwan.
Saan?
Kaya't sisikapin kong hindi mo ito maranasan.
Virtual oath-taking ceremony.
Again, good morning. At this moment, we are very fortunate to have him with us this activity to give us the orientation of the newly hired teaching and non-teaching personnel. We have our legal officer, Attorney Maruli Ali G. Sanchez.
Virtual oath-taking ceremony.
Ako na? Okay. Good morning. Okay. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Department of Education, and as you all know, no less than the 1987 Philippine Constitution requires public servants to observe highest standard of professionalism and integrity. And with that, it is also provided in the 1987 Constitution that we, the government workers, uh, must always be reminded of the principle that the public office is a public trust. And so, uh, with that, we are obliged to render professionalism, integrity, and efficiency in serving the public. And bear in mind that as you enter government service, um, we are we will be liable for a single act for three possible cases, namely the criminal cases, the civil cases, and administrative cases. For an example, if you commit an act of violence against the child, a teacher can be facing three cases. A child abuse case for a criminal case, and corresponding to that or corollary to that is the civil case of damages for the damages inflicted upon the child. And on top of that civil and criminal cases, the said teacher can be filed as well of administrative cases. Now, bear in mind that in Department of Education, we are governed by the following primary procedures in administrative cases. Take note of the possible violations of administrative cases for public servants under the 2017 revised rules on administrative cases in civil service, or the RACS, and the DO 49 series of 2006, the revised rules of procedure of the Department of Education in administrative cases. Now, the Supreme Court is very strict in relation to civil servants. In fact, in the latest case of PBS versus Tabasa, even a joke of touching the knee of a co-employee was held to be a simple misconduct, and the said government employee since the respondent was convicted already of the second offense for simple misconduct, he was dismissed in the government service. The Supreme Court said in the latest case of PBS versus Tabasa, this was promulgated on February of 2020, said that unsolicited physical contact towards a co-employee is unwarranted. So therefore, we must be mindful of our actions, especially if we are dealing with our in the public or with our co-employees, because the Supreme Court in that case said that we adhere to the highest standards of integrity and professionalism, and that we must bear in mind that we are accountable to the people at all times, and that we must follow and not violate any laws, uh, any good customs, public order, or public policy. And so, with that, I think if you have any other questions, you just contact the legal office of the Department of Education, and we are there to ready to assist you. That would be all.
Virtual oath-taking ceremony. Virtual oath-taking ceremony.
In behalf of all the technical working group, we would like to express our utmost care for giving support to us. And now, ladies and gentlemen, at this juncture, we will be having the oath taking of the newly hired teaching and non-teaching personnel. To administer the oath and to give us an inspirational message, we have the father of Davao Occidental, our ever supportive schools division superintendent, Dr. Lorenzo E. Mendoza. Sir?
Thank you very much, AB and Silbeth, for hosting the program. To our schools division superintendent, assistant schools division superintendent, Jinky B. Perwan. To our two chiefs, Chief Felix and Chief Nilo. To the Administrative Officer 5 of the Division of Davao Occidental, Mr. Aloysius Cesar Bravo. To our AO4 HR, Miss Hazel Donasco. To all the members of the technical working group, and to our division lawyer, Attorney Ali Maruli Sanchez. To everyone, to all the PSDSs and EPS watching our live streaming in Facebook and YouTube. And of course, to the stars of the show, our teaching and non-teaching personnel who will be taking their oath today. So first and foremost, I would like to congratulate you all for reaching this far. We are aware that as of today, there have been work stoppage of the employees in the private companies. But in our division, we are even hiring teachers and non-teaching personnel to beef up the teaching and non-teaching force of the division so that we can serve our clienteles better in this new normal. We all know that we are now in this VUCA world. VUCA, which means volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous. And we have no other choice but to try to live in this kind of world because we need to survive, we need to make the best from this worst situation so that we'll be able to continue the education of our children, our main clienteles. So as the newly hired personnel of the division, especially to our teachers, we need to, of course, take care of ourselves as we take care of our children. So, what are we going to do with our finances? First is if we have this salary, the formula should be salary minus savings equal expenses. Because most of us will have this formula, salary minus expenses equals savings. Therefore, we need to change that formula. We need to change that. We need to make this new formula, which is salary minus savings equals expenses. So that is taking care of our finances. That is true to our teachers and to our non-teaching personnel. Second, we also need to take care of ourselves. So we need to follow the protocol. We need to always wear masks, wash our hands, maintain physical distance, and um, disinfect those objects in the house which we always hold. So those are the things that we need to do, especially in this new normal. No? So those are additional things that we need to do in taking care of ourselves. And then, as newly hired employee, we need to attend training because we need to upskill and reskill. And we need to be a team player. We should not be doing individualistic work, but we need to be a team player so that our school head and the rest of the teachers will get most from your talents and skills. No? Kasi binigyan kanya ng Diyos dahil alam niya na isi-share mo ito sa ibang mga teachers, lalong-lalo na sa ating mga kabataan. Then, another thing in taking ourselves is to finish at least our masteral degree. Because that will be our weapon. That will be our tool in order for us to be promoted. Because if DepEd will be able now to have this new promotion scheme, then we only have 3 qualifications for promotion or requirements for promotion. What are these 3? One is educational qualification, which is at least MA, as I've said. Because when you finish MA, you can immediately be teacher 3. Kung non-teaching, MPA or MBA. No, kasi ito rin yung makakatulong sa'yo para ma-promote ka to higher position. Then, that's one, educational qualification. Then another one is experience. Because if you are employed for at least 3 years in a department, then you arrive for promotion. So meron ka ng educational qualification, nakatapos ka ng MA for 3 years, meron ka ng experience for 3 years, then kahit 3 years ka pa lang, you can already be a teacher 3. And number 3, which is very important, which is what we call the performance. No? So dapat kayahin mong maging outstanding. Kung hindi mo kaya maging very satisfactory, outstanding ang kayahin mo. Okay? So, yung tatlong yun na lang ang requirements for promotion. First is educational qualification, second is experience, and the third is performance. So yun, yung tatandaan mo para ma-promote ka, whether you are teaching or non-teaching personnel. Okay, and then, as newly employed teacher and non-teaching personnel of the Division of Davao Occidental, you are now part of the system. You are now part of this division. And being part of this division, you are part in our slogan, which is, we need to turn our visions into realities. Why? Because we are living in a province that has endless possibilities. So we need to be a driver in turning the visions of our learners, the visions of our parents, and our own visions into realities. But despite of all those things, of all those material things that we are doing, we need to go back to the one who brought us here on earth. That is why we need to always ask the guidance of our God. You need to remember the verse in the Bible which says, the verse in the Bible, Mark 8:36, which says, "What shall it profit a man if he shall gain the whole world but lose his own soul?" So kahit paanong marating mo na posisyon, kapag kinalimutan mo ang Diyos at kinalimutan mo ang kanyang mga ginawang mga tao kagaya ng mga pinagsisilbihan mo at inisip mo lang iyang sarili, baliwala lang yung pananatili mo sa mundong ito at baliwala ang lahat ng posisyon at lahat ng perang hinahawakan mo dahil wala kang Diyos sa iyong sarili. So, again, to our newly hired teaching and non-teaching personnel, my hope is that you will be part of this division, and you need to live this new normal. You need to make the most out of the position that you're handling, whether you are a teacher, you're a school head, or whatever position you are handling. There is no small personnel, or there's no little position. Every one of us, as part of the organization, has a very essential part in making our visions to turn into realities. So again, good morning to everyone, and I would like to invite everybody to please prepare their oath, yung kopya ng panunumpa, at itaas ang inyong mga kanang kamay at tayo magsisimula na sa ating panunumpa bilang isang bagong empleyado ng Division of Davao Occidental. So, pwede ba natin makita na yung kanilang mga mukha? Okay, yan. Okay, marami na pala sila. Handang-handa na. So, handa na ba kayo? Handa na siguro. Okay, itaas ang kanang mga kamay at sumunod kayo sa akin. So this is in English, so we are going to recite this in English. I state your name, of your address, having been appointed to the position of, hereby solemnly swear that I will faithfully discharge to the best of my ability the duties of my present position and of all others that I may hereafter hold under the Republic of the Philippines, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, that I will obey the laws, legal orders, and decrees promulgated by the duly constituted authorities of the Republic of the Philippines, and that I impose this obligation upon myself voluntarily, without mental reservation or purpose of evasion. So help me God. May virtual congratulations to everyone at palakpakan nating lahat. Let us offer them our virtual clap. Welcome to the Division of Davao Occidental. Thank you very much and good morning to everyone. Mabuhay kayong lahat.
Virtual oath-taking ceremony. This is the virtual oath-taking ceremony for the newly hired teaching and non-teaching personnel of the school's division of Davao Occidental. This is the virtual oath-taking ceremony for the newly hired teaching and non-teaching personnel of the school's division of Davao Occidental.
Thank you so much to our Schools Division Superintendent, Dr. Lorenzo E. Mendoza, for your warm message. And also, congratulations to our newly hired personnel. Welcome to the growing family of DepEd Davao Occidental. And now, we are down to the last part of the program. To give us a closing message, we have our dynamic Administrative Officer 5 for Administrative Services, Mr. Aloysius Cesar C. Bravo. Sir.
Thank you, Selbet. Maklaro ba ko? So, is this Lawrence Mendoza, sir, our superintendent, our assistant superintendent, Dr. Jinky Perman, the division personnel with us, our technical team who made this activity very productive, and of course to our newly hired teachers. So remember that we took our oath, so we made a promise. It is during this time that there is so much expected from you. So let us be very careful of our words and doings in our respective stations, for everybody is watching us. Everybody is watching us. So it's not only the learners, yung mga estudyante natin, yung mga pupils, but everybody, the community, the local officials, the members of the private sectors, they are watching us. So let us, true to our words and our actions, that we deserve to be called a teacher and a personnel of DepEd. Not everybody were privileged enough to join with the Department of Education. It's the selected few. Gamay lang ta. There are people, there are applicants very willing to join with us. So let us take this privilege that you were given the chance to work with the division of Davao Occidental. So let's do our best. So it is this time that we have to do an extra mile to deliver our services, especially that the COVID-19 pandemic is here. So let us be careful, and this is the right time that we have to master the competencies of the information technology. So let's do away na with the pa-browse lang ng FB, pa-chat lang. There are many things to learn. So keep in touch with the links of the DepEd, daghang mga announcement, and have yourself connected. Kay maglisod man ta kung magsige lang og kanat birits. So we have to be connected at least 8 hours a day. It's not only 8 hours a day. If we could go beyond that, gikinahanglan doon na siya. And with your respective assignments, make good luck, stay healthy, and take care of your learners, take care of your colleagues, and let's take care of everybody. So good luck, and I wish you the best of everything. Thank you.
Virtual oath-taking ceremony.
Okay, thank you so much, Sir Aloy, for your closing message. Again, This activity would not be a successful one without acknowledging the persons behind this activity. First and foremost, we have our Schools Division Superintendent, Dr. Lorenzo E. Mendoza, Assistant Schools Division Superintendent, Dr. Jinky B. Ferman, Administrative Officer 5, Mr. Aloysius Cesar C. Bravo, Guest Speaker, Attorney Maruli Ali G. Sanchez, Personal Section Head, Ma'am Elaine Hazel M. Donasco, Technical Working Group headed by our Director, Benjan N. Basilisco, Molly Gamba, and of course, Lady Joanna Lubat, and Brian Villarreal, and the rest of Secretariat. Also, we would like to congratulate our newly hired personnel to be deployed in the different schools here in the province of Davao Occidental. Wishing you all the best and fruitful year ahead. And lastly, please do not forget to follow, like, share, and subscribe to our social media accounts on Facebook and YouTube at Schools Division of Davao Occidental. And maraming salamat po sa lahat po na nanonood ngayon. Live na live po kami. And that concludes our first virtual oath-taking for the teaching and non-teaching personnel. This is your host, together with Silbeth E. Kagang. I am Absidi S. Dil II, saying, have a good day, everyone, and congratulations to all newly hired.
Imong pronunciation?
Ano day? Yan ang ingan.
Ako.
Oo, na mali.
Thank you, team. Congratulations. Picture. Thank you, ma'am. Sunod na po, ma'am, ang tanang newly promoted.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Kadai lang.
Si Molly na po sunod mag-MC. Si Molly na po sunod. Yay!
Basman, ready. Gusto na live, oy?
Wala na kuha ang insert. Wala pa sunod insert si Sir Bravo.
Congratulations, everyone.
Congrats, team.
Thank you,
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mark na lang po next week.
After 2 weeks pa, sir.
After 2 weeks.
Thank you. Opo, sir. Thank you. Thank you, attorney. Thank you, Sir Renz. Sir Bravo.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
This is the virtual oath-taking ceremony for the newly hired teaching and non-teaching personnel of the Schools Division of Davao Occidental. This is the virtual oath-taking ceremony for the newly hired teaching and non-teaching personnel of the Schools Division of Davao Occidental.
De Luna,
Present!
Herrera,
Present!
Valera,
Present!
Handa ba tayo sa school year 2020?
Present!
Ngayong taon, ang edukasyon tuloy pa rin. Sa tulong ng DepEd, mga guro at mga magulang, Ang handang isip, handa bukas. Tuloy-tuloy ang pag-aaral. May mga lessons para sa iba't ibang antas. Sa government TV, maging sa radyo. Mahalagang ligtas ang ating mga estudyante at guro. Kaya kahit nasa bahay, tuloy ang edukasyon. Kung tulong-tulong, may paraan, may aralan.
Handang isip, handa bukas.
Bisitahin ang DepEd Philippines sa Facebook at ang deped.gov.ph.
Naranasan ko ng maiwan. Hindi ko na mabilang kung ilang beses akong nakiusap hanggang sa maubos ang pangungusap. Naisip ko na ring sumuko dahil sa sunod-sunod na bagyo. Parang walang katapusan itong kalbaryo. Saan nga ba ako patungo? Saan ba ang dulo nito? Sa paglalakbay, muntik na akong huminto. Pero sinalubong mo ko. Bumungad sa akin yung mga mata mong gustong matuto. Ang mga kamay mong sabik sumulat. Ang mga labi mong nais bumigkas na mga salitang nakakapawi ng pagod. Tinatalo mo itong lungkot at takot. Binibigyan mo ng sagot ang mga katanungan sa aking puso.
Masampat, abi-abi, mga anak.
Masampat pala, abi-abi ka mo.
Na sa dami ng alinlangan ko't tanong sa mundo, ito ang nag-iisang sigurado. Mahal ko ang pagtuturo. Ito ang nagbibigay buhay sa aking pagkatao. At ang mga pangarap nila, ang aking ligaya. Minsan na rin akong naiwan.
Nagsaaman.
Kaya't sisikapin kong hindi mo ito maranasan.
This is the virtual oath-taking ceremony for the newly hired teaching and non-teaching personnel of the school's division of Davao Occidental. This is the virtual oath-taking ceremony for the newly hired teaching and non-teaching personnel of the school's division of Davao Occidental.